Good morning, my beautiful friends. Today I wanted to do a video on my houseplants. I think it's been quite a while since I've shown you guys my houseplants. I just recently brought them, most of them in for the winter, and I want to show you the progress on how big they've all gotten. Now, I do give my indoor plants fertilizer. I'll use stuff like this for blooming plants. This is for my orchid or my air plants. The air plants, to get them to bloom, you want to give them something like this. Just spray it on them. I also have, I had another one, but I don't know. I think I ran out of it. But so let's start in the living room, and I'll show you guys the progress on all my plants. So this Monstera is a new plant from the spring or earlier this summer. I bought this at Lowe's. It was in a smaller, actually it was in this container right here that this philodendron is in. And it was much smaller, but I moved it to this big pot and it has grown much bigger since I put it in this big pot. I am planning to do one of those moss poles for it to grow up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just like do a little bit of research. A lot of people make they'll cover like a dowel or just like a piece of wood in moss so that the plant can grow up it, because it is kind of like a vining plant and it wants, it has that kind of growth habit. So I am so loving this plant. It's gotten so big. It brings so much, as you can see how much space it fills right up here. It brings so much life and I love the shape of it. It's the only Monstera that I have. It was all on the porch all summer, which is why you guys didn't see it in other plant videos. So on this shelf here, or this little stand, we have got this pothos. This is a golden pothos. And I have been putting little charms on the edges here. If you can, I'll show you. Right here, these little, you just want to be careful when you do this to your plants. You want to make sure that it's something big enough. As you can see, it's not like restricting the plant in any way. You just want to put the little charms on, like you slip it on over the new growth. So you'd put it on like right here. And then as it grows, you got a little charm on it. And I think it's really cute. I've seen that online somewhere, so it's not my idea. It is a borrowed idea, but I love it. It makes the plants, I don't know, just when you're looking at the plant, you're like, oh, is that like a little sparkly charm on your plant? What? So it's just unexpected, and I love doing things like that. And as you can see, this pothos is enormous. I've taken several cuttings from this pothos, and it just keeps on growing. I do have some little clips. Let me show you real quick. So I have these tiny command hooks. They're clear, as you can see. Oh, that's just a thing. As you can see right here. So eventually what I want to do is put the pothos in a spot where I can put these clips on the wall and kind of hook the vines up on the wall so it kind of becomes a decoration in and of itself. I got these little hooks at Lowe's. I know that they sell some that are like little ties. Instead of little hooks, they're like little ties. Haven't been able to find those yet, but if I find those, that's why I haven't decided to put that up yet, because if I find those little hooks with the ties on it instead of a hook, or the little sticky things instead of a hook, I'm going to do that instead. But this pothos is a couple of years old now, and I love it. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite plants. It sits here, it's been sitting here. So yeah, over here we've got a African violet. She has not bloomed yet, but you can see they're in matching pots. These are from Lowe's. If you look inside at the indoor plant section, you can find these pots, and sometimes you can find them on clearance, and I found these on clearance. Right here we have a red Rex Begonia. It's in an old Pioneer Woman pot that the bottom broke out of. I didn't want to throw it away, so I put it in this shallow red pot, and I filled it with soil, and then I filled this with soil, and the begonia likes it. So, okay, let's go over here. This is a Variegated Ficus. You can see how much bushier it's gotten, but it will start to drop off leaves. See, it's already starting. The leaves will start to drop off. They'll thin out in the winter. They do this. It does this every year. And by spring, it will look very, very sad. If you could probably look back at old videos of mine and you can see what it looks like in the spring. It looks very sad, but it very quickly comes to life. I just really love the look and the shape of this plant. I love the variegation. I think variegated plants are some of my favorite. Speaking of variegated, we have got this variegated philodendron. I think this is a philodendron Birkin. I'm not too sure. It didn't have a tag on it like most indoor plants at Lowe's. Most of my plants come from Lowe's. If they don't, I will point out which ones don't come from Lowe's. But if I don't say where they come from, just know they come from Lowe's. So Lowe's. Yeah, I really love this plant. This is one of the newest ones that I've gotten. And this is a brand new leaf. The leaves come out. It all has a central growth point. And they come out really, really almost white colored. And then they just get this really beautiful variegation on them. So this is outside of my bedroom door. We have a spider plant. This is what is this called? Cyclamen. It's a Persian wildflower. I really love the shape of the plant. The flowers themselves, I think they're so wispy and beautiful. Hello, Jigsy. How are you today? Huh? We're just showing all of our friends the plants. In front of us, we've got my Fiddle Leaf Fig. You can see this plant is very much grown so much. So when I bought it, it was about this big. Yes, Jigsy? You cannot go in there. That's not the place for cat. That's not the cat room. We're showing our plants. Can we show the plants? Huh? Is that okay? Yes, that's a philodendron. You like that one? Huh? You like that plant? Okay. So the Fiddle Leaf Fig, he was in the backyard all summer, and yesterday I took a wet rag and I wiped his leaves off because he was super dirty. But he has grown so tall. He is at least, in his pot, he's at least 6 foot tall, easily. And then down here we have some Swedish Ivy. Those are all cuttings. And yeah, that plant, since I brought it inside, oh, well, look, and it's starting to flower. Huh. It's never flowered before. Look at that. Interesting. That's the first time it's flowered. So which means it's really happy. So that's exciting. So I bought this plant at Food City, which is a grocery store near me, a couple years ago, actually. And this plant is really easy to propagate. You can just take cuttings, put it in water, and it roots. You can even just take cuttings and plant them, and they'll root. Over here we have a jasmine tree or bush. You can see here she's getting ready to bloom. Yeah, she doesn't look too healthy. Of course, we are at the end of the season, so, you know. Back here on near the printer, we have a Calancho, I don't know how to say it. Please correct me if I say any of these names wrong. But yeah, this is a Calancho. I think this is the florist variety. Yeah, very big, very easy to propagate. As you can see, as you'll see here in a minute, I've got some propagating now. You can see up here, this is all of my glass gem corn that I grew this year. Beautiful corn. I've let it all dry so I can use it in fall decoration. Okay, and then over here, these are 2 new plants right here. These are plants. So the bird of paradise in the back is, Mark bought that for me as a surprise. This is one of his new leaves. Such a beautiful plant. I can't wait to see it bloom next year or whenever it's going to bloom. This is a new Fiddle Leaf Fig. I've showed him to you guys a couple times. He has gotten a lot bigger too. I put him in this new pot. It is 2 plants, so eventually I will be able to separate them. But yeah, he's gotten a lot bigger. He's really happy. I love Fiddle Leaf Figs. They bring such a good, nice, big texture to everything. Down here on the floor, we have a prayer plant. And you could see just how happy he is. It's gotten so big. These are like forest floor plants. So in their natural habitat, they would grow on the understory, on the ground, under trees, which is why they have dark red background. The dark red actually helps the light bounce. Instead of going through the plant, it goes through the top, bounces off the back, and goes back through the plant so it gets more light, which is why these plants can withstand really like dark growing conditions. So we have this other spider plant. All of the spider plants that I have were bought as one plant, and I split them up. So he's very happy. He's got a lot of babies. Beautiful plants. This Dracaena is not happy. I think it might be because it was outside, because its new growth is starting to look a little better. But yeah, we'll see how this guy, looks here soon. Hopefully he can get looking better. I do have another one that looks 100 times better than this one does, but I think it's because I let it get root bound in an old terracotta pot, and it just wasn't happy. So up here on the table, we have a Nanook plant that is suffering from some kind of black spot or brown spot. I'm not sure. It just won't. I've tried everything with this plant, and I don't know what's going on. Its new growth does look good, so we'll see. I might have to get rid of it, though. This is a plant that Mark bought me. I can't remember what the name is. I think it's like Arrowhead or something. Yeah, interesting looking plant for sure. Back here we've got, this is an oxalis or a shamrock plant, constantly in flower. I love shamrock plants. This is a dragon's tongue. Beautiful plant. She's been flowering all summer. You can see these little brown spots here are old flowers. She just grows the cutest little tiniest white flowers. Oh wait, what is this right here? This is new looking. Huh. Oh, it's the flower stalks, I see. We have a Haworthia down in here. We have got a Rex Begonia up here. These are some Calanchoe or Calancho clippings. We have a purple shamrock up here. She's not looking too happy. I think it's because she's getting too much sunlight. Who knows? Down here we've got the succulents, okay? We've got this succulent. I don't know the name of the succulent, but this is a donkey tail sedum. This is a, what is it? A jade plant. We have a crassula, and we have some echeverias here. I think that's what those are. And over here you could see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 African violets. I love African violets. You can see this guy is getting some flowers. With African violets, they like to be root bound. If they are not root bound, they will not flower. So if you have an African violet that's not flowering or hasn't flowered, put it in a more shallow pot and you will get flowers. Just tip there. This guy, he is looking beautiful. He's in this little teacup pot. We have another donkey tail sedum. This one over here is actually a cutting from this guy. Another kalanchoe or kalanchoe. This is a panda bear sedum. No, not sedum. Yeah, sedum. I can't remember, guys. I don't know what this is. If you know what this guy is, let me know. I think it's called a panda plant. This is a Thanksgiving cactus. It looks like it needs a little bit of water. This is an elephant bush, looking beautiful. I just put it in this new pot. She's looking very nice. Right here we have, oh, I can't remember what this plant is, but she's gotten a lot bigger. And then over here, this pothos is actually cuttings from the other one, the main one. And then down here we have an angel wing begonia, looking fabulous, loving her life. Jexie. And then we have some more kalanchoe or kalanchoe clippings and a creeping Jenny that looks like it needs some water. We have some coleus clippings that I put in these little, oh, sorry, Jixie. I put in these little vases from Michael's that I recently bought. Looking very cute. And then we have got this berry illusion arrowhead plant. I just recently up-potted her into this bigger pot, and she's looking fabulous. I love the red color on her. She's got some very pretty colors. Okay, those are all the plants in this room. Let's go into the kitchen. We've got 2 more spider plants, looking fabulous. Oops, sorry, I'm in the light. Lots of babies. Very happy plants. And over here on the windowsill, we have got, up on the top, we've got an aloe vera who loves its life. It's just been hanging here all summer. And it's giving me new growth. It's loving its life. Oh, beautiful. And then we've got this guy. Again, I can't remember the name of this plant. I bought it at Lowe's on the indoor plant section, but it's very happy right here in this spot. We've got another African violet that I just potted in this pot. And then we've got some patchouli seedlings here that I am growing from seed. Okay, and then in the back room, in the studio, we have got this big guy. This is a Dieffenbachia. So I sold, sorry, my voice just did a weird thing. I sold my last Dieffenbachia that I had, and it did not look like this. It wasn't as like white as this guy is. And soon, so this is 3 plants, and soon I'll be able to split him up because he's going to need it. He's not in a very big pot, but man, he's beautiful. I love this plant. My last Dieffenbachia got enormous and I sold it. This one, I love it. So this is the other Dracaena. I have had this Dracaena tree for years, and I recently up-potted him into this bigger urn pot that I bought from Lowe's. It's just plastic. I did drill holes in the bottom of this pot, so there's like 5 holes around it, because these pots don't have drainage. But he loves his life. He is a shade plant, and when I bought him, he was very small. He has grown probably a foot since I bought him. And he is so happy, loving his life back here. Just a beautiful plant. He's got this beautiful red line on the edges. And he's a great plant. I love him. And over here, we've got another Kalanchoe cutting in this like beaker type thing that I got from Michael's as well. And then the last plant we have is the Wandering Dude. He was outside on the back porch all summer long. He has gotten so big. You can see just how much he has grown. Beautiful plant. Love the color. Hate the name, which is why I call it a Wandering Dude. Yeah. So that is all of my house plants. I hope you guys enjoyed. You can take a look back at different houseplant videos and you can see just how much all of the plants have grown. They've all gotten so big and they all look so good. And that makes my heart so happy. So if you guys have any houseplant questions or any questions about plants at all, please leave them down below. And I love you guys and I will see you in the next video. Bye.